After watching this video, you will learn how to process bank fee transactions, automatically create transactions, manually create transactions, and split transactions. To get started, log into the individual plan and navigate to transactions from the left-hand side. Draft transactions is where you can add money in and money out in various ways. Draft transactions can be considered as an inbox for digital records. Regardless of the source, pending transactions will appear here until all information have been verified and missing details entered. Once the transactions have been reviewed and assigned a category, they move to completed transactions. These are the transactions that are used to complete the SA 103 self-assessment schedule for income tax. Even if a record is incompleted, it can still be modified or deleted, so you don't have to worry about making a mistake that can be undone. You can add transactions in 3 different ways: from bank feeds, auto-create transactions using receipt scan, and add transactions manually. Let's make a start with processing bank feed transactions. When connected, transactions will import directly from your bank account into Draft Transactions. You can then start adding categories and save the transactions. To do this, from the relevant transaction, click the drop-down list and choose the appropriate category. A description is shown for each category to help you choose the right one. If you're unsure which category to choose, we advise you to speak with your accountant. With machine learning embedded, the individual plan can also predict the category for you. This technology will gradually learn and improve over time as you use it. Please note this feature is only available in the individual plan. When the category is selected, the option to save becomes available. Before saving, you may want to add an attachment to the transaction, such as a receipt, to store it digitally. To do this, click the paperclip icon. The maximum file size for the individual plan is 100 MB, and to check the accepted file formats, click here. For the individual plan free, the maximum file size is 5 MB. Drag and drop your files from your device into the outline area, or click Select Files to browse from your device. Once uploaded, you can access the documents by clicking on each one. To go back to Draft Transactions, click the Exit button and then click Leave. The number next to the paperclip icon identifies how many documents are attached. Once you're happy with the information entered, click Save. The Save transaction will now appear in Completed Transactions, from where you can still edit, delete, or view your attachments if needed. Let's now look at how to create transactions automatically using receipt scan and capture technology. Upload invoices or receipts to create transactions automatically. The individual plan uses optical character recognition to automatically create transactions from your uploaded images or PDFs, saving you valuable time. It also predicts the categories for your transactions using machine learning. Please note this feature is only available in the individual plan. To automatically create a transaction, from Draft Transactions, select Add Money In or Add Money Out. Select Auto Create from Receipts or Invoices and click Next. You can select up to 25 files at a time. The files must be in the format shown here. Drag and drop your files from your device into the outlined area, or click Select Files to browse from your device to open one or multiple files. Once all your files have been successfully uploaded, click Create Transactions. Once the transactions are created, they appear in the Transactions panel and in Draft Transactions. From here, select the source of the transaction. You can do this by clicking Select Source or clicking the Actions menu and then Edit. Please note that accounts connected to a bank feed cannot be used as a payment source to prevent duplication of transactions. Select the relevant source and choose a category for your transaction. Once you're happy with the information entered, click Save Changes. After you save your transaction, it will move to completed transactions. When initiating money out transactions by AutoCreate from invoices and receipts, an extra option will appear, enabling you to email documents in the individual plan. You can then send or forward emails with the relevant documents attached. To obtain the unique email address required to send the documents, click here. We use the information on the images to create draft transactions. Let's now learn how to manually create money in and money out transactions. This method supplements bank feed and receipt scan. Use this if you need to enter transactions not reflected in your bank account or you don't have a receipt to capture. To create a money in transaction, from Draft Transactions, click Add Money In. Then, choose a transaction type. This can be income, transfer or deposit, or refund. In this example, I will choose income. Then, click Next. Enter the details of the transaction, including the date and the source, which is the bank account you received money into. Then, enter a description and the amount. To save the transaction to draft, click here. Choose a category for your transaction, then click Save. After you save your transaction, it will move to completed transactions. To create a money out transaction, click Add Money Out. Then, choose a transaction type. This can be an expense, transfer, or refund. In this example, I will choose expense. Then click Next. Enter the details of the transaction, including the date and the source, which is the bank account you spent money from. Then, enter a description and the amount. To save the transaction to draft, click here. Choose a category for your transaction, then click Save. After you save your transaction, it will move to completed transactions. Let's now look at how to split a transaction. Split transactions enable you to divide a transaction amount across more than one category or split a transaction when the amount is partially allowable. For example, if you purchase petrol for both travel and personal purposes, you could split this into two categories and make part of the amount a non-allowable expense. Non-allowable expenses, also known as disallowable expenses, are not deductible against your income when calculating taxable profits. Allowable expenses are those spent to run your business. These are deductible against your income when calculating taxable profits. It's important to accurately categorize expenses to ensure you get a true picture of your business expenses and to keep your tax report up to date. For further guidance on categories, please speak to your accountant. To split a transaction, from the area you're processing your transaction from, click Split. In this example, I will split a transaction imported from bank feeds. Select amount or percentage to decide how to split the transaction by. In this example, we will select amount. Enter a description for the first item you want to process. Then enter the amount. Choose a category for your first item from the drop-down list. If part of this transaction is non-allowable, click Enter Non-Allowable Amount. Select amount or percentage to adjust the amount. In this example, we will select amount and enter how much is non-allowable. Then click Next. To progress, click Next again. From here, add the remaining amount as non-business or select Add Item, where you can split the remaining amount further or add a different category. In this example, I will add the remaining amount as non-business. If you would like to make any changes before saving, click Edit. Then click Next. To save the changes, click here. We've successfully split a transaction. The saved transaction will now appear in completed transactions. To further manage transactions, click the Actions menu from the relevant transaction. From here, You can edit a transaction to make changes, such as changing the description. Record as a refund, to refund a customer or show a supplier refund. Record as a transfer, to show money moving from one account to another, such as from personal to business accounts. And delete, to remove the transaction from draft transactions. Please note you can undo this. You've now learned how to record income and expenses in the individual plan.